Mr. Conley.
Yes, sir.
I apologize for the interruption.
Oh, that's quite all right, I understand.
You're welcome to start over. We got your paperwork concerning.
Paperwork's good, we're all clear. My name's Andy Conley, I live at 12 Band Drive, been here a couple of years. And I want to say something real quick, back to what this gentleman said. You need to be here 12, 20, 40 years to run for office. Gentlemen, ladies, I find that that's a bad statement to even say. You need somebody who's got fresh eyes, walks in here and sees what's going on. Just because you lived here 20 years doesn't mean you know a thing about running a business, nor a city, water, anything. You're here to listen to these people, to try to make a living here better than it is. Your water system's antiquated. I retired from a utility company by the name of Meter. Meter is one of the world's largest water and utility service company in the world. I retired 3-4 years ago. Before that, I was a business manager for a company out of Jackson, Mississippi, which was the utility industry. I know utilities and how to run a business. I was an importer for stainless steel pumps out of Brazil to Alabama. I know the international laws if we have to, which we don't want to go there. But locally, I'm here. I see the problems. You've got $600,000 in a hole on a golf course that I know of just listening. And you've got infrastructure that's falling apart. Now, you need to bring somebody in here and get that solved as soon as possible. That's a negative. Now, when I first moved here, no one told me about what's going on here. No one. The real estate agent? No one. Now, if I had known that, I would probably moved on down the road. But I'm here. I pay cash for my house, and I'm not going nowhere. So, if you want somebody with a clean set of eyes who doesn't know everybody in here and not afraid of everybody in here, I'm your man. I call it like I see it. If you don't like it, then I'm not your man. Plain and simple, guys. I'm in the hat. Let's go. Let's turn this city around and take the money that you're saving and put it where it needs to go to cure the problem. Now, this young man on your board now is researching and digging, and he's found a lot of things that you people really need to sit down and listen to. Solve your problem along with the new people coming in. The old guys, hey, you did a great job, but it's time for you to step down. Plain simple. That the younger generation come in. Hell, I'm 65. I'm not young. Take that back from 67. But what's the average age here in this town? 65? 70? 61? 51? Higher? See what I mean? You got to get the younger generation in here. If not, you're a dead town. That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Conley.
You're welcome. Now, nobody will hear it like this.
David Rochford.
Good morning. My name is Dave Rochford, 2 Fairway Place, Holiday Island. My wife Barbara and I have been property owners here in Holiday Island since 2020, and we have been resident property owners since 2023. A little bit about my background. I joined the Coast Guard right out of high school, served 26 years, did a variety of operational jobs for the first half, large Coast Guard cutters, vessel traffic services, which are kind of like air traffic controllers for the water. Latter half of my Coast Guard career was more staff jobs, one of which was a headquarters tour doing policy writing for a new rating at the time that was called a Coast Guard Enlisted Specialist, which was formally stood up in 2008. So I'm used to working with policy and governance documents, and at the time working with Congress on budgeting and those kind of issues. During my Coast Guard career, I held a top secret clearance with access to sensitive compartment information. So for those of you in the military, you know that's not an easy clearance to get and maintain, so I did that. For the end of my Coast Guard career, I earned my Bachelor's in Business Administration from Grand Canyon University. In 2013, I retired from the Coast Guard as a Command Master Chief and moved from Boston, Massachusetts to San Antonio, Texas, where I started the second half of my professional career as a project manager. So I was a project manager from 2014 till December of this past year. When I retired, I was a certified project manager for since 2017, and I still hold my license. As a project manager, a lot of what I did for the companies that I worked for dealt a lot with, almost all of them dealt with some type of real estate aspect, whether it's working with municipalities, whether it's trying to get funding for grants, those type of things. An example was I worked for Ozark Development, where we worked on behalf of owners to develop land for commercial self-storage. And we actually, some of our facilities got national recognition for how they were built under budget and so forth. I worked in the commercial sign industry, where we would have to work with municipalities to try and meet code for what kind of signage would go in, and how we built it, and make sure it met what the cities needed. I worked most recently for Los Aguilas, which is a private investment company out of San Antonio that does all sorts of real estate investments. They had a large portfolio that we maintained of hotels, quick service restaurants, retail centers. And our team, the real estate team, dealt with all aspects from ground up development through managing and leasing of the facilities, etc. We all have our reasons for why we've chosen Holiday Island to be our home. For my family, and I forgot to mention, I have a vested interest. It's not just me and my wife. My son, Brian, lives here in Holiday Island as a resident property owner as well. So I have my generation and my son's generation, they were vested here in Holiday Island. We chose it for a variety of reasons. Low cost of living for us, the small town atmosphere, the beautiful Ozarks, including the sunsets. Even my screensaver, one of our sunsets right at our back door. And yes, the amenities. So I'm running for a position on this board because I'd like to maintain this community the way it is. There's lots of work that needs to be done. We all recognize that. I like to see a lot of people running for these board positions. I was nervous that there was only a few of us. But having more people, I hope they just don't show up today and then walk away if they don't get on board. Please be involved. This is for the betterment of all of us. And with that, I thank you for consideration.
Nicole Regan.
Hello, my name is Nicole Regan. I have been here since 2021. I live and I work in the community. I'm the manager at the bank up the road. Some of you know me. But I'm here to be on this commission because I think a lot of what's happening in the community, there's a lot of change happening. There's a lot of families coming in here. The demographics are changing, and I don't think that there has been any focus on that. There is focus on, the golf course, and yes, the infrastructure needs to be changed, and there are changes that need to happen. But I think in order for this community to grow, we need to be able to reach the residents, the newer residents, and have them be a part of the community. They live here, they work here, they're commuting, whatever the situation is, but all of these new members of our community are not being seen. Everybody classifies Holiday Island as a retirement community and all these other things, which it was at one point, but the demographics are changing so drastically every day with all the families coming in here, and I think that we need to be able to focus on what's happening now and in order for us to live in the future here in Holiday Island.
Well, you're the only one that's worked here, that has been up here, that works full time.
I do,
Are you able to get time off work to come to meetings?
yes. I've already worked it out with my bosses, it's not a problem.
Okay, you're the only one that.
Yeah.
That has got a problem, could be a problem.
I understand,
Thank you.
thank you.
Excuse me. What are you going through? Seth?
That's what we did fix.
They're getting audio on the Zoom now. They weren't earlier.
How long was audio been off?
You might have to switch the video you're watching. I had to restart the stream.
Now you're saying they're getting audio now on YouTube?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, his wife right now on the.
Is she on the new stream?
There is no audio going through. I don't know.
They changed the streaming room.
We just started streaming 11 minutes ago on this new one.
This was 1 minute ago, and they're saying there was getting no audio.
I would have her log out of that one and then re-sign into the new one and see what happens.
Is there anyone else that wanted to be nominated that is not on this list?
We're both
Both on the list.
I'm sorry?
We're both on the list.
What's your name?
Dave Bishop, Butch Phillips.
I see your name on the list.
We were the first two signed
We're the
in.
first two that signed in.
Well, Mr. Bischoff, go ahead.
Yeah, he was the first one.
Yeah, I think there's a page, I think there's 2 pages. Looks like,
You know, this is white. Oh, here we go.
I didn't realize it was 2 pages. But it's roughly about today.
And I just signed into YouTube and there is no audio coming through on my phone. So somebody, excuse me, might want to try it.
Well, then time out. I'm going to recess.
I'll go ahead and give you guys these and that way when we come back, we're ready to go. How's that?
I agree. I don't.
I can hear it. I'm on it right now. Yeah.
I'm going to recess. Give you guys these, and that way when we come back, we're ready to go.
All right, ready, Joe?
This meeting's back in session. Mr. Phillips, you can continue.
Turn the mic on.
Thanks, Dave. Go ahead and take care of it. Again, my name is Butch Phillips. I live at 6 Cypress Point Lane. I do rise to be nominated to serve on the board. The purpose of that, and so many people, and even this morning said that unless you participate or try to fix the problems, you shouldn't, right? Well, the funny thing about that is, I started working with commissioners in 2017, trying to fix problems. I live across the street from one. I have emails from a lot of people in this room about stuff that was going on. I met with the then district manager in 2021 for 3.5 hours and submitted a full list of things that I felt the board was in violation of. Dave talked me out of bringing that copy of that email to share with you guys today. Because he said, don't go in there like a freight train. I usually do. I come across sometimes as very, very, very direct. And I don't need to. But, so I've been working around this community. I fell in love with Holiday Island when I was 14. That was 53 years ago. I have to say regularly, God gets up every morning at Roy River State Park and goes to bed every night in Maui. And you guess where my two favorite spots in the world are. So, I am here to help bring this community forward. That's what everybody wants to do. My background is very simple. I have decades of experience in emergency management, public safety, mediation, and community service. I am one of two people when I was certified in the state of Oklahoma by the Oklahoma Supreme Court and the U.S. Supreme Court in civil, commercial, and family mediation as a non-attorney. That doesn't happen very often. There's one in the room that can attest to that. During my 16 years with Oklahoma County Civil Defense and Emergency Management, I was safety training officer. My job was to write disaster plans, response plans, mitigation plans. I'm also a public information officer and safety training officer certified by the National Fire Academy. I am certified in all levels of firefighter up through 2002. I am certified in all levels of emergency management through the National Fire Academy. Beyond emergency management, I've had the privilege of working as a journalist and a videographer for severe weather coverage. I helped write the handbook for chasing tornadoes. As a firefighter, I founded an EMS squad. I am certified by the Oklahoma State University as a fire service EMS instructor. I am certified by the Council on Law Enforcement Education and Training as an instructor. My career spans leadership and technology, owning and computer security. I did level 7 security, so the gentleman that talked about having that clearance, we worked on White House level equipment. I had guys in my offices many times that were carrying machine guns when we were working on their equipment. So I understand high level leadership. Holiday Island has immense potential, but we have a lot of issues that need to be addressed. When I say you need to have a working knowledge, 1492, 201 through 240 are the statutes that cover this board, and then 601 through 603. SIDS are a distinct animal. I was trying to not make Mr. Bishop laugh, and I'm about out of time. They're not new. They're 130 years old, the best I could find. SIDS are all over the United States. My job, I want to come in and work with this board to improve this board, period. I thank you for this time. I look forward to working with you. Whether I'm on the board or not, you will not have heard the last of it.
Thank you, Mr. Phillips. Mr. Bishop.
Dave Bishop, 50 Bandy Drive. In the interest of full disclosure, I'm the guy that sued HISIT back in 2011. That will no doubt involved in that whole issue. I sued HISIT to protect it. It has been allowed, it has been disallowed, it is mostly misunderstood. One of the past district managers actually ran the numbers on it. Two managers ago, 3 managers ago, we run through quite a few of them here. And he fully admitted that the lawsuit and the resolving settlement that we came forward with, HISIT would have been bankrupt by now. That lawsuit protected HISIT, although 90% of the people here don't understand and really don't understand the total issue behind it. Past boards have done a remarkable job of screwing things up by not following the law. I probably am one of the 1 or 2 people here that actually have delved into the laws and have a fairly decent understanding of them, and I've Same thing as having been here since 2002, know the operations here, have spent more time sitting in these chairs probably than more, other than maybe two people here at all these meetings. Spent a tremendous amount of times talking to commissioners, district managers, and up here at this podium, pointing out, people, you really don't want to do that because education-wise, I've got a master's degree, had a broker's license, had an appraiser's certification, and probably a dozen other certifications, licenses, and degrees, which really are not particularly pertinent to here. I've been in nuclear, Navy veteran, I've all kinds of stuff, so what? All the qualifications that I've heard here, they're amazing. Every one of them would be wonderful on the board here. Except they do not have the history of Holiday Island, know what has gone wrong, what the problems are out in the horizon. There are some problems out here that make our water situation and our golf course and everything else look like a minor bump in the road. They need to be addressed. Some of you have done quite a bit of research. Nothing compared to what Butch and I have done. Geniuses. We're not God's savior to be here. I personally, some people are bad-mouthing SID. I think SID is a wonderful organization if it is followed correctly from the beginning. To be honest, this one is so screwed up, I don't know if it can be totally saved. I'm interested in saving the community to which the SID is throwing up a lot of blockages that you aren't aware of. They need to be addressed. They need to be brought forward. And we need to find a way to reduce the amount of problems and potential damages. All of the people here, to be honest, I don't know who I would choose from just the ones I've heard. If this had been run the way it is supposed to. Problems. So how can you find the solutions to avoid major collateral damage? Everybody here, say you put me on the board. What's your risk? You got 10 months. You can vote me out. If you don't like what I have to say, you guys still got control. But you have access to a source of research, knowledge, and history. And I agree with the gentleman, new generation idea. But if you don't know what's gone wrong and what is waiting out there, there might not be that time coming up. Full appointment is for 10 months. Then you can really slate to let the old farts in here that know what's going on. That's good. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bishop. Bart Cook, you have Linda? Anybody else? If not, we'll recess now into an executive session to discuss it.